Yeah, hi, I'm Paul Archer. That's paularcher.com. Got a little sales idea, coaching idea for you, which is to do with the inner game, and that's when we make mistakes, because we're all human. We all make mistakes, don't we? And well, I do anyway, quite a few of them. The problem with mistakes, of course, is that we have the inner game, the ability to move on from making that mistake, because a lot of people can dwell on them as well. I mean, I've dwelled on mistakes that I've made where I've been really annoyed with myself. I've made a mistake, and I've dwelled on it, and that's the worst thing you can do, because that damages your self-esteem and your confidence, and that's no good in sales or sales management. So I've got a couple of ideas for you on to handle mistakes. The first thing to think about, of course, when you make a mistake is you don't do it on purpose. Ask yourself, did I make that mistake on purpose? And if you did, then that's something wrong, isn't it? That's a bit more advanced than this sales tip will cope with. I think there's more psychology there. But nobody makes mistakes on purpose, of course you don't. And if you do make a mistake, can you learn from it? Now, what I use is a little model. I've shown you this before, but this is a nice little inner game model, which dominates pretty much most people's inner game. You've got 4 sides or 4 quarters to the model. This is future thinking, future. This one's past thinking. So this stuff down here is what we think about in the past, and these are things that we have in the future coming up as well. Now this is good, and this is bad. You can have it the other way around, doesn't really matter. But what you've got, of course, in the past is good past thinking, like your fond memories of your wedding or your holiday or something, and that's great. But I'm talking about here, past thinking, something that's happened in the past that's bad, and this is where mistakes go. If you make a mistake, that's where it goes. And you can dwell on it, you can really get yourself down on it. So what you say to yourself is, first of all, I made the mistake. Was it my fault? No, probably was. But did I do it on purpose? No, you didn't. And have you learned from it? That's the first question to ask yourself. Have you learned from that mistake? Whatever that learning was, put it into practice. Put it in your learnings diary. Put it in your CPD, whatever it is you use to make a note of your learnings. And then obviously don't make the same mistake again, because that's the definition of insanity, really, isn't it? Or bad memory, one or the other. And then move on. That's it. You just move on. Make the learning. Put it in the past, of course. It could become a good past because you've learned from it as well. So effectively, you're turning that into a good thing to think about in the future. And then just wipe it out. Don't think about that. In fact, you don't want to be thinking down there. You don't want to focus on those areas, because there's no mileage in thinking about the past, is there? As long as you've learned from it, you move on, and that's entirely what this tip's all about. So useful little model there. Remember, mistakes. Nobody does them on purpose. Hope you found that useful. Paul Archer, paularcher.com.